Oh shit, am I live? Am I live? Oh yes, we're live. What's good? What's up, man? What's happening? Late night. Late night fucking hang, dude. Welcome to this fine ish. Kind of fine. You gotta make it fine after all, right? Ah, it's up to us. It's up to us to make it righteous. What's up, shit? Alright, that's enough of that. What's good? What's good? Welcome to this fine late night edition. BS with Be Honest, that's me. What's going on, YouTube? What's up, world? What's up, internet? I call myself Nikki Be Honest when I'm online playing music or talking shit. I do a little bit of both, you know what I'm saying? And I've been slacking the past week or so. I've been a depressed piece of shit, and maybe neither here nor there. Damn, they like changed the whole YouTube stream up. Capture moments as they happen. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks for the reminder. But yeah, I don't want to say I've been a totally depressed piece of shit. Life goes on, but I've been having a bit of a rough go the past couple weeks, man, and fucking been stressed and down and angry and embittered and frustrated and existentially spiraling and all that. And then lo and behold, we wake up today and we're at war with Iran. Rah. Man, if only I would have gotten on the internet years ago when I first wanted to. If I'd have built up a following, if I'd have just said what I wanted and stood up for liberty, everything would be different. I doubt it. I doubt it. Unfortunately, I don't like being a pessimist or a cynic. But I'll tell you this, I'd have an easier job. I'd have an easier job because motherfuckers are getting views off this shit. Boy, motherfuckers are, the internet is going nuts. And the question is, should they or should they not be? What do we do about this? I woke up today and I've been feeling it for a long time. Maybe my soul, maybe my spirit was just prescient of this new mind fuckery that's happening. Maybe I'm stressed about the news. Maybe I'm stressed about the state of affairs of the world. Maybe I'm stressed about society or culture or the country or whatever. Maybe I'm stressed about my own dollars. Maybe I'm stressed about my own life. Maybe it's just pop, stress the fuck out. Shut the fuck down. Shut the fuck up. Sit the fuck down. Do what the fuck you're told. Maybe it's one of those things. I'm not too sure, but I woke up today and, you know, had to get to work, had to get to the gym before work. My day was a busy, busy day. But, as I get up and scroll, can't help but get the news, man. Joint Israeli and American bombs on Iran. They've been talking about it. What's the term? What do they call it? Saber rattling? Yeah, they call it saber rattling. Old orange man, Donnie T, been saber rattling for a little while. And our best ally, our best friend in the Middle East, they can't wait to fucking drop our bombs on their enemies and so on and so forth. We don't even got to speak it. We all fucking kind of understand that shit. And my first thought when I read that shit today, I'm like, all right, so here it is. And what's next? Now, what's next? And that's kind of still my position on the whole thing right now. Even though nobody fucking asked. Even though, you know, I'm not, I'm Nikki B. Hannas. I'm not Nick J. Fuentes. I'm not these other motherfuckers. You know what I mean? This is just my show, my talk, my project. This is what I like to talk about, because this stuff affects me. I think this stuff affects everybody. It didn't really affect me today, though. I woke up and did all my things, went to work out, got a great fucking back workout in. Weighted pull ups are no joke. Let the record show. Been doing hundreds of body squats every day, supersetting everything. That's a great fucking workout. I went to work, man. Went to work, and it's the last day of the month, so I had to do inventory at the burger shop. So that's a solid 13 hour day, 14-hour day, all things in. I'm doing 75 hard, so I had to get my outdoor workout, threw that weighted vest on, and took a little meander. little trip down memory lane with some added weight resistance on me. Did some body workouts while I'm doing that. Bang, bang, bang. All good, you know? And even if I've been stressed and depressed, which I have been, just because I'm looking at all this shit, man, like I'm in my 30s, I'm a couple years sober. I'm a guitar player. I make music. I just started my own business and I'm trying to find all the ways and learn all the things to do this and, build a better future for myself from a better place than I ever been. Just so happens that, this is the next thing. This is the next current thing. And isn't it a bitch? I think that's the big takeaway. It's just a bitch, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, so yeah, wake up and see the news. And is this the beginnings of World War III? Everyone has shit just happened today, but everybody's got a fucking answer right out the gate. Everyone's either doing the "I told you so" thing, or "we knew that Trump was bad" thing, or "you shouldn't have." Like everyone's the scripting of all this shit. The scripting of all this shit is what's most noteworthy to me. You know. Now, what do I actually think about it? I think it's fucking bullshit. I think it's all trash. I think it's a massive distraction on behalf of the orange man. Makes me question who's pulling the strings, who's really calling the shots. 3 weeks ago, it was all about the island man, Mr. Jeffrey of House Epstein. No one's talking about Epstein now. And that's the most important motherfucking thing going on, in my view. What's the correlation? What do I think the correlation is? I think the correlation is obvious. Shit, but I was doing this shit not on the internet, of course, shame on me, but 5 years ago when little small things turned into little small things, which turned into big things over the COVID shutdown, epidemic, pandemic, plandemic, whatever. That was some real society disrupting, life altering, spiral inducing things that we were all made to deal with. And my thinking is this is happening, and boom, here comes the next thing. And it's concerning, man. It's very fucking concerning, dude. Now, the difference is for me, when that life altering thing, society molding thing happened, I was drunk the whole fucking time. I was still playing my guitar. I was still working at my job. I was still kind of hitting the gym, but I was drunk, dude. I was just drinking and smoking, and I was so absorbed in the political circus of it. But that's what it was. I was absorbed in the circus of it. The bread was plentiful and the circus was raging. So I'm diving into this, Trump that, Bill Barr this. Wow, can you, doing all the research, diving down all the rabbit holes, researching all the Q drops, all that stuff. And it didn't really serve me too well. So my dilemma is how important is this for me to be glued to my phone about, to just be on top of. They've been shooting missiles at each other all motherfucking day and shit. Yeah, as they should. Not even as they should. We're the belligerent party, and I think anyone who says otherwise is coping or just misled, being led by nefarious forces without their best interest in mind. This doesn't strike me as anything that serves American interest. Getting into war with Iran. Oh, well, it's not actually a war. I know. This is unconstitutional. It sure is. It sure the fuck is. But that's bold of you to assume that constitutionality matters. And it's naive and goofy to think that constitutionality has mattered for quite some time, because what we've learned, if nothing else, is that those who call the shots, the wizard behind the curtain, those behind the veil, the hidden hand, etc., they don't give a fuck about the Constitution, dog. That's a piece of paper to these motherfuckers. Now, to me, it's much more than that. To many of us, it's much more important, and it's a real thing. It's just a social contract theory. It was a life world augmenting thing, and it's endlessly fascinating to study and apply. And I think it's at the behest of us to become good Americans. But is this what good Americans do? Rah, rah, rah for missiles on either motherfucking side. Because as a more right winger dude myself, there's plenty of motherfuckers out here that are cheering the counterattack. And it's like, man, this is all just so ugly and so fucked up. And we've been so demoralized and desensitized to it that it just ain't like another day in the news. Oh, he finally did it. Yay. That was my first thought. Is like, damn, all right, he finally did it. Can we get the fuck on with this shit then? you know? Now, what does that actually look like, man? I don't know. I don't travel, but I would be horrified to be on an airplane right now. I would be horrified to be out of country as an American. I wouldn't want to be anywhere the fuck else. Like, that's just this, because who knows what the next thing is where they just decide to shut it all down. Like I'm saying, I saw a couple of videos in Dubai. Like there was a Dubai airport that was struck by either shrapnel or a missile or collateral of some variety. I don't whatever. The details are you're not going to get real details right now, and you shouldn't trust anyone who tells you something is a fact. That's part of the mass demoralization and propaganda campaign we've been fucking smacked around by for a long time, but especially in my view in the past 3, 4, 5 years. But I seen a video of people that were just sleeping at the airport in Dubai. Now, what the fuck do you do in that situation? And what makes us as Americans so sure that it can't happen here? Statistically, for sure, way less likely. But at this point, man, what the fuck are us? Our own government, our own people, our own citizenry, our own population. What the fuck? Like, man, it's just existing in this stress. But I guess only if you're in tune to it. Because if you're, I don't know, say you're a musician. I'm a musician. All right, so let's think like-minded. What's the next echelon up of musicians? Cats that are out touring, that are their shit's on the line, they're invested into it. You know what I mean? You're out touring, you make a living touring, you make a living selling merchandise. Well, what happens when they shut this fucking straight down and gas prices get fucked? Boom, because there's a lot of cats saying that's coming too. This canal gets shut down, so international trade is done. Like, I don't know, man. It's not a very educated response. It's not a very articulate response, but my response is like, of course, anything but America first. Anything and everything but America first. What about the people that, the fucking trafficking rings and blood cults and vampirism and it's all alleged. It's all alleged. I know it's all alleged, but like anything, evidently, anything except getting to the bottom of it first. What plagues America? Maybe I should ask AI. Maybe I should ask AI, as a matter of fact. Let's whip out the old. I'm going to need another Zen for this one. Now, this is the late night hang. Ordinarily, I like this show to be more about things I like, and it hasn't been recently. I've been reading this book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek, I think his name is. It was on the recommendation of the Andy Frisella world and 75 Hard world and the Operator Standard world. Because again, here I am trying to make myself into something better. I'm trying to become a better and better American. I'm trying to become a better and better man. I'm trying to become a better and better version of me. Find my real motherfucking self and gift it to the world. Like, I'm trying to grow and do right. And maybe I'm just an asshole for that. Maybe I should just partake in the 2 minutes of hate, because that's what's going on right now. These idiots are out here saying, this is a great thing. Can't you see the Iranians in the street? They're cheering us on. They can't wait for the dead Ayatollah. And, it's great that America and Israel bombed the shit out of this country because they've been a threat for 43 years. They've been about to kill us for almost half a century. And can't you see how happy they are? Motherfucker, look at our people. Fuck you with that bullshit. I hate that shit, man. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck, at least. Is that thought crime? Did I just commit thought crime? That's probable. But you know what? This is the age of Palantir and the great surveillance state and so on and so forth. Digital ID and the mark of the beast. I know. And it's fucked up, man. I guess it's all what you make of it, which is kind of how I started this, which is a lot of what I talk about too. I'm a stoicism fan. I'm a self-development fan. I'm a self-help, self-talk, and like I like this shit, and I like kind of living in it as I go about my business and do what I do, which is working a burger joint out here in the Philly suburbs. I make music. and I talk some shit, try to maybe help people or inspire people, be a better version of me and show the other motherfuckers that that can be done. That's the why I'm out here. I didn't get on the internet so I could comment on what Dave Portnoy said or what Rashida Tlaib said or what can you believe what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, can you believe what she said? How about Mark Levin? How about like, it's all characters in the game, dude, and, like, I'm just trying to supply some rock and roll to the soundtrack, some fucking heavy metal and some blues, dare I say. But there I go again. Now I'm worrying about the good things in life instead of all the evils that plague us, and maybe that's my fault. But it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. It's a mind fuck. It's a deliberate psychic, spiritual and social warfare upon us. Because now I'm calling into question my own morality of worrying about myself versus worrying about the world. Inside world, outside world. It's a big thing I talk about all the time, and my brain is fixated on this shit. The war for attention, where your attention goes, your energy flows, or something like that. But these motherfuckers got us right where they want us because all the attention now is on war. The Ides of March, perchance. How many? I bet you, well, I know for certain that there's a plethora of occult lineups and synchronicities and, the blood moon, 3-3, all this iconoclastic bullshit, which means it's deliberate, which means it is meant to affect us. So to claim that it's unaffecting to you, you're either stupid or ascended. Most of us are in the bell curve. Anyway, so instead of like, yeah, our fucking government, this is where they're spending all their money, all their time. And this is just right now when it's just, psychic warfare, God forbid. But that's again, that's for me. That's for me as an American, as a dude who ain't got no skin in the game. Man, it can't be good to be an Iranian right now. Fuck. But I guess you're kind of used to it, right? I don't know. Normative values and all that. But as an American, yeah, I don't like my fucking government doing this shit. How about you root out the traitors? How about you root out the corrupt? How about you root out the fucking sellouts that sold this shit down the motherfucking river a long time ago? They don't give a fuck about people like me. Give a fuck about anyone who might hear my eloquent words. These people don't fucking care, dude. It's just posturing actors. Like I said earlier, man, if only I'd have been doing this longer and I had a whole crowd, a whole echo chamber, rah, 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 rah. Cha-ching, 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 super chat, super chat, super chat. Donation, donation, donation. That's a real fucking thing, dude. And half these motherfuckers make it on tax dollars. They get it on real IRL super chats via coerced tax dollars. So the other tax dollars can go to people and pay them to be citizen servants, civil servants that are the elected officials, some of whom sign bombs to drop bombs on brown motherfuckers across the world that have been about to kill us for longer than I've been alive. It's all such a joke, man, and it's fucking it pisses me off. And I try not to be. I never really have room to get pissed off when I'm working a 13-hour day, but I'm apprehensive. And then you kind of exist in that apprehensive state. Stress, tension, uncertainty. Either an opportunity or, a way to sell yourself short. But anyway, let me ask AI, what are the biggest problems Americans face domestically? Let's see what Google Gemini tells me. All the things, America first. I thought that's what it was, man. And I hesitate to say I regret voting for the orange man. But, my current opinion is, yeah, these motherfucking libs were right. Con man and a liar and fucking two-faced and bought and sold, baby. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss, bull. But, and it's not even the fuck the the protest music isn't even good these days either. At least the protest music of the 60s and 70s was like, some classic CCR, some classic fucking songs came out of that era. Thrash metal, punk rock came out of that era. Some good fucking countercultural FUs came from that era. Counterculture, protest music now is like You know what it is. It's garbage. And it's like communist bullshit, too. Commies taking over domestically and the warhawks doing warhawk things internationally. Fuck all you guys that are just trying to be well to do. Well, I'm just late to the game, too. This shit's been said hundreds of times. Thousands, dare I say, even tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of times. So we all know what's going on here. We all know what's going on here, dude. But what do I know? I'm just a dumb American. According to Google Gemini, in 2026, the domestic landscape in the US is defined by a heavy focus on, they put it in quotes, affordability. Mhm. And significant political friction as the country approaches the November midterm elections, which some have said may not even happen. Is there tinfoil in my hat? Maybe there's tinfoil in my blood. The following are the most pressing domestic problems currently facing Americans: economic pressure and affordability. Yep, stagflation light, cost of living, high prices for essentials like groceries, electricity, and insurance is the number one concern. Now, I wonder why that is. Let's speculate. Why is affordability a concern? Because they're intentionally crashing the economy to fuck people. That's why. Because if you're fucked economically, you're easy to control. You got no leverage on your own fucking autonomy, no actual fucking mobility in life, no liberty, in other words. Housing crisis. A shortage of affordable housing and high mortgage rates remain a major barrier, particularly for younger generations. Well, don't you know? Back in 1974, a house only cost, I don't know, $100. What the fuck? College costs a fucking dime piece. You know, weed's more expensive than that shit now. Oh, not anymore, because they made it legal so we can all smoke weed and get stupid. And it's all good, you know. It's my right as an American to smoke weed and look at the wall. Can't you see the colors, dude? I get it. Cost of living is high. The housing crisis is high. Not to mention just the fucking third world nature of the country when it's just anyone who wants some, who wants to come in, we'll give you housing. Unless you're a fucking taxpayer, then you better have, you know, first month, last month, security deposit. Better be able to prove it, you know. Plus, yeah, I mean, like, and here's the tariff bill. Recent trade policies have placed a financial burden on domestic businesses and consumers, with some estimates suggesting they bear up to 80% of the cost of new customs duties. Yeah, it gets passed off from the top. It gets passed off from the top. Bait and switch, bait and switch, bait and switch. Ha ha, idiots. You fell for it. We sure did, didn't we? I did, at least. Uh. Healthcare uncertainty. Yep. They're still talking about the ACA. I remember back in my day, it was only angry right wing boomers that were mad at Obama for the ACA. But that's a classic communist move because it just got so entrenched into the system. Cottage industry built upon cottage industry, built upon shell company, built upon regulation, subsection 1, code B, clause go fuck yourself, built into the whole cake. Systemic gaps, rural hospitals, yeah, they're the intentional destruction of the country is the long. I'm sorry, that's the short version of this AI answer. But anyway, so yeah, these are the most pressing concerns: economic pressure and affordability, followed by healthcare uncertainty, followed by point three, political instability and polarization. Americans are deeply pessimistic about the function of the government, about the functioning of their government. Yeah, because it's back to square one. It's non-functioning. It's corrupt. It's just corroded, rotten to the fucking core, dude. As evidenced by everything we're looking at. Government corruption. Recent surveys show that over 50% of Americans cite government corruption as a top tier worthy. Yeah, because you got fucking child traffickers and strange island blood rituals probably running literally every major institution which sculpts our day to day life. You know, I don't know how you can manifest your way out of that. Maybe you can. I ain't figured it out yet. Midterm tensions. Nobody's talking about the midterms. Only idiots that watch Fox News and CNN are talking about the midterms. That's bold of you to assume any of this fucking stuff is legit in the first place. My vote matters. I don't know. I remember I was there, albeit drunk, very drunk, but I was there in 2020 when election day turned into election week, which turned into election month, which turned into election season, which turned into the deadliest attack on the American capital since the War of 1812 and domestic terrorism at an all-time high. And bunch of motherfuckers, bunch of shit. Yeah, it's all so fucked. Do I sound pessimistic? I would like to be a little more optimistic. If someone out there on the internet's got some optimism, throw it my way. Throw it my way because we could use it out here. Faith in institutions. Only about 11% of the public expresses confidence in the government's ability to solve these major problems. Yeah, which means 89% is cynical, destitute, depressed, angry, bent up, ants in a jar being rattled by the powers that be. Yep. And then the fourth point is immigration. The fifth is emerging social concerns. Majority of Americans, 56%, anticipate rising crime rates this year, making public safety a general campaign issue. True indeed. The AI disruption. There is a growing anxiety regarding how artificial intelligence will impact job security, specifically the low fire labor market. Yeah, and then AI immediately goes to midterms because they want us in this fucking political shit, dude. And even in my observation, most people are broke, but that's like a natural law too. Not I doubt. I don't know. Is it unnatural for most people to be well off? I don't know, but the money shit's my fucking first concern. If I were to think about what's really fucking our country, most people are fucking broke and being stretched economically, which I believe is by design. Most people are completely depressed and demoralized. I'm only slightly depressed and demoralized. Not totally. Not totally. It's just like the princess. What is it? The Princess Bride. He's not all dead. He's just mostly dead. Can't be all depressed and all more demoralized. And I'm only a little bit. It's wearing on me. But we do things to offset that. And if you're fucking depressed, demoralized, and broke, there's a correlation there between you know drug use and substance abuse in general, not giving a fuck. You throw all that stuff together and you got a whole population of people that's just suffering. And then you feed them shit, you feed them slop, you feed them trash. You incentivize them not to exercise. You craft the cultural narratives so that they're justified in all their rage and woes, but incentivized to do nothing about it. At the very least, they're not incentivized to fix it and take power for themselves. And those of us that do, we tend to fly old glory behind us and look at this shit and be among the 90% who say, I can't trust any of these motherfuckers. They're on TV lying, they're on the internet lying, they're all getting paid for it to lie, to cheat, to steal, to say one thing and do the other. And what do we do about it? We can't all build killdozers, and none of us got the balls to build one anyway. You got balls big enough to build a killdozer, bro, you're falling right through that shitty new construction fucking apartment you're being forced to live in. Balls that big will fucking take you down to the fucking ocean. Then you find the real truth. But I digress on that account. Yeah, you get all these people that are just fucked with, creates a hopeless state, man. So it's a spiral. It has nothing to really do with Iran at that point. It has nothing to do with the Ayatollah. But I guess it's just where the shit is right now. My opinion on all this stuff, my takeaway is, one kid in one of my group chats for work was like, "Well, if because there's war now, do we have to still come to work?" And it was pretty obviously a joke, but it's like there's a lot of people that think that way. And at the end of the day, as grown motherfuckers, as Americans, we got to be proud of, keep that fucking thing on you, because who knows what's about to pop off? Who knows? Who knows when and if? But you don't want to get caught with your pants down. You know what I mean? I pay attention to this stuff, but it's like I don't know. I highly my internal debate is strong, and it's all. I don't know if there's a right answer. I don't know how much of it's worth paying attention to. I don't know how much of it's complete bullshit, completely not bullshit, has merit, has no merit. So I guess the only real position for most of us, the average person out here, because I'm not out here talking to powerful people. Currently, I'm talking to no one. I'm talking to myself. But, we got to wait and see. We got to wait and see. The raw truth of it is, for most of us, there's no real power to affect or influence or alter or change this kind of stuff. Maybe that's a defeated mentality. Maybe that's a pessimistic mentality. Maybe it's a realistic one. I don't know. This is the debate I have. I debate whether it's even worth fucking paying attention to. I'd be a lot happier if I didn't know about all this stuff or pay attention to all this stuff or give a fuck about all this stuff. So, for what that's worth, I would say just wait and see. But tomorrow we're going to wake up and it's a new day. So, what are we going to do with it? What are we going to do with it? I advocate for sobriety. I advocate for fucking lifting weights. I advocate for reading books and getting smart. And, that seems to be three of the most important things. The other thing that everyone else talks about that's the most important thing is to worry about your business and your money and, obtain freedom via finances. I ain't figured that secret out. Full disclosure, full transparency. I ain't figured that shit out. I'm a fucking newly sober dude. I work hard, but it seems like no matter how much you work, it don't matter. And I always debate that objectively. Objectively. Just because you work hard don't mean you're gonna get what you think you're gonna get from it. And all these external things matter. Don't matter how hard I work if gas goes to, I don't know, let's just say 15 a gallon. That's gonna fuck most motherfuckers. And most of us are most motherfuckers. Few of us are the exceptions. You can't have everyone be exceptional. But we can all strive to become exceptional despite whatever's fucking going on. So I think that's my takeaway, man. I think that's my takeaway. And like I said, I've been slacking a little bit. I've been struggling for sure, just in all my things. And it ain't like all I do is stream on the internet. It ain't like all I do is try and do this. I got a fucking real job. I work a lot of hours. I do a lot of shit in my life. I'm blessed in so many ways, but sometimes the mind is a trick. Sometimes the enemy kicks the gates down in the brain and gets involved in your internal monologue and tells you ain't shit, tells you ain't nothing, tells you to give the fuck up, tells you got knocked down, stay down, pussy. Who the fuck do you think you are? We got to fight it, So that's what we got to do, man, whatever that fucking looks like. That's what I think, at least. But, again, that self-deprecating side of me hasn't been eliminated from me yet. That self-deprecating side, the side of me that thinks I ain't shit. What the fuck? Who cares what I got to say? Most of us have that. Be honest. Most of us have that. Most of us think we're small, and we were made to feel small for a fucking reason. So instead of what I think our leaders should be doing, they're participating in, at the best, theater and fake news. At worst, you know, um, the initiation of a potentially catastrophic chain of events. What happens next in America in 2026? Wait and see. Tune in next to find out. Fair enough. Will I have something that's not negative and fucked up and depressing and stressed out to talk about? We'll find out. Tune in next time on BS with B. Hannas, which should be Monday morning, baby. Thank y'all for hanging out. Thank y'all if you got this far. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Late night on this fine February the 28th slash March the 1st. Late night BS with B. Hannas hang here on the BS with B. Hannas channel on YouTube. I go live on YouTube. No script. Just running and gunning, man. Just a dude out here getting after it, talking some shit. We're all more alike than not. And shit's fucked up. It's okay to admit that it's fucked up. I don't think it means we're necessarily complaining about it. And to be fair, if we're not complaining, if we don't have legitimate grievances about this shit, then what the fuck is wrong with us? That's a good question. What the fuck's wrong with us? What the fuck's wrong with me? That's a whole different subject. I ain't spilling that dirt till I'm well paid, baby. It's all projection anyway. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Bullshit and BS with Hannas here on YouTube at BS with Hannas. I'm going to send this out to Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, so on and so forth. So if you like it, if you're interested in it, what the fuck ever, you can find it out there. BS with Hannas. But besides run my mouth and pontificate and have a monologue and spiral a little bit, I make music. Primarily, I like to make music. heavy blues metal, I call it. And you know what? Metal and blues is kind of, there's a philosophy behind heavy blues metal in my mind. Because the blues tells you just to persist, man. It mandates resilience in the face of some bullshit, whatever it may be. It compels you to find the punchline and to sing while you work, whatever that may be, whatever that may actually look like. That groove keeps coming, man. You got to keep shuffling, stay on that fucking beat, stay in those 12-bar blues, man. You find freedom in that structure, but and metal is just power, it's discipline, it's execution, intentionality. So that's what we need, man. As we persist, let's try and persist with intention and attack some high energy shit. Let's try. Sometimes it's all just fucked up though, man, and pivot into power. Keep that fight up. Certainly don't quit. Certainly don't fucking quit. We got to keep ripping. You're in the middle of a fucking blues jam. You don't just stop because you tripped up on a note. Fuck no. Nah, you keep ripping. You fucking just keep ripping. So that's what I think. That's the philosophy behind my music. If you like it, check it out. NikkiBHannas.com, Nikki B. Hannas on all streaming services. NikkiBHannas.bandcamp.com. And you know what I mean? If you like this shit, you want to support my creative endeavors, music talk, whatever, patreon.com/ Nikki B. Hannas. Keep it real. I'm out. One love. Peace. Freedom over everything. That's a great principle to stand by. Shout out Hot Red. Keep it real. So what I said, but it must be something. I'm not sure what I